Okay, everybody, let's tone it down a little bit. We'll get going with this evening's activities.
Yeah, stop having fun.
That's right. Let's pull over to the curb and let's hold down on all that fun. Okay, again, I'm sorry for the layout of the tables tonight. You guys and girls are going to have to turn around a little bit so you can see what we're up to up here. Hopefully we'll get this arranged next year so we won't have to everybody crane their neck. Okay, before we get into the activities and stuff, and I turn everything over to Jimmy Maisel here for the MC of the evening, one thing I want to do, and what we're going to do from now on, and we're going to try to dedicate our fly-in every year from now on. And the first thing we want, and the first time that we want to dedicate this to is the people that smell the epoxy, that have to scrape the epoxy off the hairdryer, try to get it out of the clothes. When the dryer doesn't work, but the airplane's getting done, and what I'm talking about is the gals. This one's for you. Jimmy, take it over.
And in the case of my wife, clean up the microwave when I just had to heat that epoxy up. It was winter, what could I do?
That's your idea.
Okay, one of the things that's very important about these kinds of gatherings to me is that when you come here, you go away knowing people. You go away knowing names, and you go away knowing some folks that during the year you might be able to call up or contact somehow and ask questions of. Now, and I don't think everybody here has met everybody, but what I'd like to do is go through, starting at the back and moving all the way to the front, and have the people who... No. Shut up. Just shut up. You're out of line. Your turn doesn't come until 3 table rows. What I want you to do is stand up and introduce yourself by name, what city you're from, city and state, and what you're building or flying. Now, I have a shepherd's crook over here for a loudmouth. And I will keep this. I am prepared to be rude. People know me. All I want is those 3 things. I don't want to hear about your carburetor. I heard enough of that today.
Name, rank it through.
City and state, and what you're building or flying.
I'm Bill Mason from Oregon. This is Lori, my wife, tonight.
Okay, get that video camera turning. We got money happening here.
I'm flying a Dragonfly, and I flew from Oregon. And
that's it. Sit down. One of the special anointed 12 here who brought his airplane in, and we appreciate that very much.
My name is Mark Snow. I have Dragonfly in 48 Romeo Victor, and I flew in from Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Now, late arrival, Carlsbad, New Mexico. Thank you.
Ted State from Rockford, and we're should have ours down here next year.
Write that down. Write that down. On the wall.
This is stone.
Whoa. We got an intervening.
Now don't start doing the wave now.
I'm Bob Steig, and I'm with him. And these are some people that are from somewhere else.
Hey, are you willing to live up to the same commitment he just made for you?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Geraldine Ford, my wife. We're from Enid, Oklahoma, building a Dragonfly, and we're hoping to have it here this summer, but we'll probably have it next year.
Write that one down too.
We're making the small one too.
Right. Okay, Doug.
Okay, Doug Sawin, Alhambra, California, Dragonfly Mark II.
Thank you.
Jim Harris, Woodville, Texas, and my sister Mary, and I'm a Dragonfly flyer.
And you're flying, yeah.
I'm flying.
Al Fitzgerald from Red Cloud, Nebraska, and I got Brett and Allie with me, and I've got building a Dragonfly Mach 3.
And they should be about ready to fly by the time you're done.
Well, they did say they'll help me now.
Bud Starnes from Evansville, Indiana, and I'm rebuilding a Q1. I have my son Kemp with me also. So.
Kimball McAndrew from Calgary in Canada.
Triple Q.
And that's 25,731 miles from here if you go the long way.
I think there's a dragonfly at the beach.
I'm Jerry Marstall, my foxy snipper Nancy. We're from Fairview, North Carolina, and we have a Tri-Q2 building.
Curtis Chapin, my wife Arlene, from Fort Worth, Texas, working on Dragonfly.
Dave Carey, Washington, Missouri, Dragonfly builder.
Okay, let's go way back to this table back here. Art?
I'm Art Jewett from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm flying a Q200.
I got you, Art.
You look good today.
Les Hildebrand, Kansas City, Missouri. Got a Q200, ought to be here next year.
All right, more blackmail. Yes, sir.
Dennis Henson, Fort Worth, Texas. This is Manya, but she doesn't smell the epoxy. She just lays there and sleeps a while.
And we have this trainer we'll start with over here.
Rob Chamonch from Boca Raton, Florida. I'm here with Elizabeth. Used to have a Dragonfly, and I have an RV now.
Good fun. One's a Dragonfly or always a Dragonfly? Why would anybody want to build a brand new design, brand new airplane with that antique material? I don't get it.
It works.
I'm Jack Bombard from Aiken, South Carolina. This is my wife Elaine, and I'm building a Dragonfly Mark II. Stuart White, my wife Eileen from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we're building a Tri-Q.
Okay.
Brian Martinez from Fort Sill, California, and I'm still trying to build a Q200.
But you're very close. And you'll be here next year, right?
I've heard that.
Jim Bruner, Mexico, Missouri, and I'm building a Dragonfly Mark II.
Good.
Keith Welch from Marshall, Illinois, and I'm a unpowered Quickie flyer.
Oh, one of the tough guys.
Fred Weeby from Marseilles, Illinois, and flying a Mark II Dragonfly. My wife Judy.
I'm George.
Get on camera.
Well, don't get these guys. Don't get that guy.
I'm George Gaston from Des Allemands, Louisiana, and this is my wife Rosalind and my #1 helper Stephanie, and I'm building a Mark II Dragonfly.
Hey, where's your number 2 helper? What do you?
He's out raising to havoc with the rest of the children.
Playing in the traffic.
Yes.
I'm Bruce Crane from Enid, Oklahoma, and this is my wife Joanne, and I fly a Q2.
Didn't make it though. Didn't make it.
I
Just
tried
down the
twice.
road about 10 miles or so.
Yeah.
Couldn't scud run in.
Yeah.
You flew 370 miles trying not to get her though.
I did. Jerry Little from San Antonio, Texas now, Dragonfly Mark II building. Dave Richardson from Stowe, Ohio. That's a suburb of Akron. This is my wife Susie. We're building a Q2.
Thank you. Uh-oh.
Bruce Dixon. This is my girlfriend Rosemary. I'm from Lawrence, Kansas, 30 miles west of the permanent static display on the
But will he be here next year?
Butch Hernandez out of Golden, Colorado. My wife Kathy. Fly a Dragonfly Tri-Gear, and I'm currently building a Velocity. Hope to have it here next year.
Which one? All right. Butch is another pilot has this plane out here, and here's another one.
I'm Howard Hardy, and I have a flew in a Q200. We're out of Colorado.
Colorado, yeah.
And this is the wife Nancy.
That was going to be a bigger emergency when your fuel filter exploded. If you thought that was an emergency, you would have really thought this one would work.
Never forget what's her name. Wonderful. Watch out, he's build Dragonfly Mark II next week.
Okay, all right.
Ron Price, Lakeville, Illinois, and I completed a Mark I Dragonfly.
Hey, you're close. You should be here next year. Okay.
Me and
Rich Goldman, I'd like to talk about my fuel injection.
I got some fuel injection right up here, Bubba.
It is a Dragonfly, and I'm from the Chicago area.
Thank you. And further.
My name's Al DeMowitz. I'm from Poughkeepsie, New York, and I'm building a Dragonfly Mark II.
All right.
Bob Johnson from Ogden, Utah, building a Mark II Dragonfly.
And I'm Phil Williams from New York City, and I'm building a Dragonfly Mark II, and maybe next year.
All right. Write that down with the rest of them.
Alan Perkins, and I fly out of Howell, Michigan, and I have a Dragonfly Mark I.
And your peel off looked real good this afternoon. I like that.
One of the best. One of the best today. Yep.
I'm Jack Levitt, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ray and I are working landing a Q123. I'm Ray
Don't
Saxton.
get in trouble. Wait a minute. He almost got in trouble. Oh, you're going to handle that?
I'm Ray Saxton, Jack's partner, and I'd like to introduce my lovely wife Betty and my sister-in-law Mary from Spring Hill, Kansas, over here.
Well,
Old Lady.
Thank you.
I'm Dick Terry from Annapolis, Maryland, and I'm building a Dragonfly Mark I. 90% done, 50% to go.
All right.
Dave Ricky from Alliance, Ohio. We built a Dragonfly 2. We're trying to get up with the courage to the supplier.
Okay. Don't rush on that part.
Bob Miller, Weldon, Ohio. I'm currently flying a Dragonfly Mark II and working on a Quickie Q1.
What a man. What an all-purpose kind of a guy.
Richard Dunwitz and my wife Lillian from Freeport, Illinois, and in about 3 weeks to a month we're taking possession of a new home where I will finally have space to start my Mark II Dragonfly.
Well, I thought he was going to run on. I was about ready to grab him. As long as he kept it in contact.
Patrick Taylor, this is my wife Robin, Jamie, and we have Viking aircraft, and hopefully, I'm not going to say next year, but we're working to get the prototype back in the air.
Okay, all right. Love to see that flying.
Rick Carr, I have from St. Pete, Florida. I have a tri-fly that I'm finishing up here, and I will be at Sun and Fun, most definitely.
Okay.
Count on that, write it down.
All right. We had slim pickings down there this year.
Tim Gibbs, and I had a Dragonfly Mark II, which is sold, but currently still flying.
Good.
And now building an RV4, and it will return. And it is latest of technology, just as bad.
I don't know. I think I saw that stuff back in 1920.
My name's Tom Harper. I'm from St. Pete, Florida, and I'm building a Mark II. My wife had so much fun at Oshkosh that she didn't want to come with me. I better ask.
Where's the secretary? Oh, okay.
And she said, "This is my last airplane."
I might add with Tom's wife, she will never go to another fly-in.
As long as you're there.
But let's see, where are we going? Oh, yeah, okay.
Dale Kimon, my friend Sherry, and I work here at the Ottawa Airport. And I do have the start of a Dragonfly hanging on the hangar wall here at Ottawa.
I saw it. Ooh. And our chief photo plane pilot.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Mr. Shyman.
I'm Pete Voss from Hinckley, Minnesota, and my partner Bob Bircher. We're building a Dragonfly Mark II.
Outstanding. Good to have you guys here. Next gentleman.
I'm John Voss from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I've just taken over a Mark II project.
Good.
Tom Reed, Kennewick, Washington. Quickie? Dragonfly Mark II. Hopefully.
Wishful thinking, I know.
Brian Knox, Des Moines, Iowa. This is my daughter and main helper, Heather, and we're building a Dragonfly Mark II.
I'm Harry Higgins from Oyster Bay and St. Thomas, and I'm building a Dragonfly Mark II. I plan to be finished by the turn of the century.
You think you'll put it on floats, though?
Might. I was thinking of that.
I'm Rick Markle from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and my friend Ron Gowan, which before I brag about myself, I want to say he is the proud owner of that rotary-powered Long Easy that we flew in today, and I believe it's the only one in the world. So this is
He's brave enough to fly with me.
I'm brave enough to fly with me. So it's a pretty special airplane. I'm pretty proud to have gotten to ride in it.
And I know Ron pretty well. I could tell you some stories.
He is also an ex-Quickie driver, and I'm completing a Mark II Dragonfly. I hope to fly it 4 to 5 months.
I'm Walter Warren from Charleston, Illinois. My wife Peggy and I have a Dragonfly Mark II.
Spud, you want to introduce yourself?
My name's Bill Spornitz. Everybody knows me as Spud. I'm a Dragonfly Mark II builder forever. And down on the end here is Chris Spornitz, my wife, and my daughter Angie.
And I'm Sweet Potato Maisel. And there are some people alive who have seen my Quickie. I built a single-place Quickie. Flew it for 40 hours. Ron will vouch for me. And now it's a yard sculpture. And I don't think I'll go. I can't say anymore because my time's up.
What kind of carburetors do you have on it?
I can't. I'm sorry, my limit. Well, let's see what I have here. Well, it's been a pretty busy day, I think. Did everybody have a good time? You can imagine that we get a little nervous when the weather goes to poop like it did, and we're looking at 11 or 12 airplanes out there when we have in the past seen as high as 25. So we're nervous for you guys, but it seems to me like we had a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of good quality time with these airplanes, and I don't think the low turnout of airplanes will cause anybody not to want to come back, because there was a lot of good seminars and stuff going. We've got this fine gentleman here doing a video for us. So you've seen that. You've seen him. Yep, nice sunset. We finally got a nice sunset. So that video will probably be available in your local stores and taverns. We had a little emergency today. That was nice. Well, Howard always manages to give us a little entertainment every year. It's always something, Howard. He had to trailer his Quickie back one year. However, everybody was safe. We're very happy for that. There was quite a number of airplanes that were stuck out. Not everybody has heard about it, but there were at least 5 more airplanes who were trying to get in, but there just wasn't a way to get here. I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Ron finally got to launch this afternoon, and one other plane launched this afternoon, but there were some folks stuck in Minnesota. I didn't know where that stuff came from, and some folks stuck on the East Coast too. But and that's kind of gives us more gray hairs, because we want this thing to be successful for you guys, and one of the keys is to see those airplanes. The other key is to see if we can get you rides. Now, probably we didn't get as many rides done this year as we wish we would have. Last year we got a whole load of rides. But anyway, that's always on our thoughts, and if we didn't get it done this year, we'll get it done next year, and there'll be more airplanes flying, right?
I'm going to bring my own rides this
You know what also is something that we think about, and that is the weekend we hold this. So we hold it on this weekend, so we have an extra day for you pilots to get home in case the weather goes down. However, we always wonder, is this a problem for folks? Is there anybody who wants to comment on this Labor Day weekend? Is it too big of a hassle for you, or?
Supposed to Oshkosh for my station is almost unanimously with the people that I've spoken to about it.
Okay, let's hear those unanimous hands. Get the guns.
If you do have to travel,
Oh, Mr. Unanimous is speaking now.
yeah, have to travel commercial. It's the most expensive weekend of the year to travel. If you do this commercial flight from anywhere, no matter what
what kind of discount or deal, just because of this Labor Day weekend, the traditional most traveled weekend of the year, so
okay.
it's more expensive. Also runs between the Florida football time.
Yeah. And I might not see the Cowboys tomorrow. You know, the thing that bothers me about stalling this, and we've talked about how close this is to Oshkosh too, but you know, you start to look at the weather patterns, and it looks like the weather is starting to get worse. We're starting to transition into fall weather, and it may be if we delay it much, we're going to get, you know, even more rained out. I don't know. I mean, this is a tough call. Yeah, then it's too close to sun.
The thoughts on spring, you know, we're just getting into the storm season up in this neck of the woods anyway. It's also sun and fun time. You know, you got sun and fun, you know. Yeah, I speak my wife. Yeah.
See, yeah, we had the Quickie guys. We used to meet in Springfield before we joined up with the Dragonfly guys. And we used to meet in June, early in June. Lousy weather then. You know, we got crap every time we tried to hold it over there. So it's a tough period. Maybe we need to talk to Paul Pobresny and see if they'll cancel Oshkosh or move it to Labor Day. Great idea. Great idea. Yeah, but you guys are really goofy sometimes.
Okay, some of us don't like California.
Yeah.
Oshkosh needs to divide it up again already anyway. We can start meeting part of it down here.
Well, you know, for us, that's the bad part of Oshkosh, is we can't give rides or fly around like we used to. Yeah. I'd be willing to give up Oshkosh for this. Yeah. Nah. Not. What's that? Yeah. What kind of a crowd did we have?
102 here tonight, and last year was 80.
Yeah.
So that's a healthy increase.
So it's not something that we can say, geez, we'll never do that Labor Day deal again because, you know, nobody can get here. That's not, doesn't seem to be a factor. There are some folks who have plans for Labor Day with their families, but that doesn't seem to be slowing us down.
I'll be home on Labor Day. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, barring any mass revolt from all you guys, we'll just make the decision again next year whenever we decide to. Okay, we're going to go through our series of awards here, and I think we'll start out with the Dragonflies. You know, I worked roughly 20 years in the hospital, and I've seen a lot of doctors chicken scratch, but old Spud is getting me baffled here. Okay. For the longest distance that a Dragonfly had to travel to arrive at Ottawa, Kansas, that will be Bill Mason of 1,485 miles. Is that what I see here?
Come on, Bill, come on up.
There you go. How did you traverse those 1,485 miles? Can you give us a briefing on your trip?
It was sheer terror. No, it was good. It was.
How long a trip was it for you?
It took 12 hours. And
you left last Monday? Or?
A week ago. No, I left Wednesday at roughly 3 o'clock and flew until about 7 that night. Spent the night in Idaho, and then the next morning, which Thursday morning, I was lucky with the weather, so I made it over the what was left of the Rocky Mountains there north of Salt Lake City. It was a real good flight until I reached Kansas, and it was scud run the rest of the way. But they say it's easy to scud run Kansas. There's nothing in the way. It was a good flight, though.
Well, we're awful happy you made it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Come on over here. Come on over here. Get this. Come on, take a picture.
Yeah, we'll come back and hopefully get
Okay, the this time I have to. Okay. All right. Now we have an award for the Dragonfly on the field here, which has the highest time, the highest amount of hours of flying time, and that's Mr. Perkins. Bill? Where is he? Looks like he wore the paint off of that. He's been flying it so long.
How many hours?
400.
Okay. I wasn't really sure. 4:13 this morning, and
okay.
Trust me, there's nobody close. And I kept some rides, and you know.
And you've been here before too.
Yes.
So that plane is getting some work for you. It's doing some work for you.
Yes.
Good.
Good. Important to flying.
Okay, for the best interior by our panel of 47 judges, we voted for, you know, after a lot of money was passing hands, we voted for Butch Hernandez.
Come on up here.
He passed out a lot of $3 bills for that one.
Come on up here and run for the shot. You bet.
Okay, and the award for the best overall Dragonfly is going to be given to Bill Mason.
Come on up here.
Is those $4 bills that I like.
That's Spornus. S-P-O-R-N. You bet. Thanks. Glad you came.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll move into the Q2s, my favorites, after the Quickie, which we don't have any here, chickens. For the longest distance flown, that was Kimball McAndrew, who flew here from Canada. He got 1,285 miles on it. And it's strange the things you can hear. It's strange the things you can hear in a man's bathroom, but I heard a big discussion there about who actually flew the furthest, Mason or Kimball. I was there. I was behind one of the stall doors.
What that noise was back there. Thank you.
And I wasn't burping.
What's the conversion factor for Canadian miles to American?
How he flew 1,285 kilos, or what the heck is this here?
27
kilograms? Okay, the high timer made a brief appearance here, and he is now gone to avoid the weather. He's moving further into Iowa. I hope he's there now. Was Bob Malachek, who got in late and got out early. And he has 725 hours on that bird. And it doesn't look very worn either. Yay! Accepting for Mr. Malachek will be Jim Mason. Yay! Okay. Hey, this is one of my guys, too. How come I can't read this?
Show it to me.
Fisher. Really? You think that's what that says?
That's what that says.
I thought our current high school training was bad, but obviously a few years back is when it started. The best interior among the Q200s was Paul Fisher, who was also vamoosed. Yay! Accepting for Mr. Fisher will be Jim Mason. And the best overall Q200 we judged was the one built by Bob Malachek from Dallas-Fort Worth area. No, not here. Yay! Excepting for Mr. Malachek will be Jim Maple. Hey!
Way to go.
Well, do we have anything else to extend these festivities even longer into boredom than we are? Are there any folks out there who would like to wrap up this thing or have any final comments or thoughts about things that could be done better or things that were done well or things you... Anybody on this side of the room? Anybody in this section right here?
I'd just like to thank you, Mr. Cliff, for putting us all on.
Thank you very much.
Nancy had the idea that you'd give an award for the people who drive the furthest drive.
That's an idea. That's not a bad idea either.
That's a really good idea.
Oh, you think as far as the Dragonfly games, does he well run some more T-shirts? Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Working on that, computer layout to be able to do it. How about the Quickie T-shirts?
I'm jealous about these shirts. They came out even better this time than they have in the past, I thought.
Well, hey, we've got access to the same people who did the artwork and stuff for the Dragonfly. Do you Q guys want something like this for the Quickie Q2, Q200?
Yeah, with the Dragonfly.
Oh, the Dragonfly guys over there.
Okay. I'll be working on those. We'll get plenty of them. Yes, sir.
Last year you had the guy from Canada that had the super engine on, pulled it up to the hangar doors there and showed it and everything, you know. And, I enjoyed that. If you could do that with like different types of modifications and things, just pull up the door and have the guy tell what he did and pull it off and bring another in or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, the Q guys get that question up in a year where we had cows off at a certain time. And up at Oshkosh, you don't want to have it, you know, when the crowd's there because, you know, then you don't get to snoop. I mean, that's like a magnet. You take your cowling off and everybody shows up. But, that passed through my head out here. I know that I wanted to see Kim's airplane with the cowl off, which I eventually did, but it would have been nice if we maybe announced a time when everybody could go there and see it who wanted to see it. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. That did work well last year.
We could make a regular time frame, you know, kind of like show and tell.
Yeah. I think that's good, yeah.
Yeah, when you pulled that Subaru up last year at the Dragon.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's an excellent idea. Okay, we'll do that. Anything else? How do y'all like, where are the girls? How do y'all like Ottawa as a place to meet?
Great.
At the university, yeah, they're pretty good to us. We appreciate them. No fountains? No mountains.
It's a good runway, except for that one bump, you know.
Yeah. It looks like to us that this is the best place to get the most people, I think. You know, like I said, the Q200 guys, or the Quickie guys used to meet in Springfield, Missouri, which we thought would be a good central location, but this is even better. And the fact that there's no obstructions around here and there's light traffic at that airport really makes this ideal for us. So, guess what, Spud? You get to do this next year, maybe.
One thing I passed on, we noticed in the local newspaper we didn't have any publicity in there at all, and it may have contributed to the lack of people being out there from the standpoint of a local conference. I don't know.
That was done once. I know.
Article in the Thursday paper, not mine, which I didn't get. I can't tell you to what extent the article was on.
Yeah, well, I just saw the Weekender and it didn't have anything in it.
Yeah, they were supposed to do it on Friday, ended up being on Thursday.
I looked worse than Fort Ave and didn't see it.
No, that's my fault.
Oh.
I purely, for both magazines, I ran out of time. Meant to do it and I got sidetracked, so that's my fault.
You know, it looks like sometimes when an event runs smoothly that you're just kind of winging it. There isn't anything to it, but there's a lot of planning and stuff, mostly done by Spud because I'm, 500 miles away in Dallas. And remembering to do all those things is tough. I mean, you have to have a checklist and you have to keep after it. It's a lot of work. But when we get a crowd like this here, you know, it makes us feel good about doing that kind of work too. Anything else you have, Spud?
Fred.
We was all planning going to Sun and Fun, fly it on Sun and Fun.
Yeah, we got any pilots? Either plane type wants to go to Sun and Fun? You planning on it? Okay. Got one there, one there.
Good.
Got one there. But you know what? Speaking of Sun and Fun, you know what I'd like to see? Every year at that Sun 60 or the Sun 100 that they say, we never see too many quickies and we hardly see any dragonflies. You know, there's a category for 75 horsepower and under. I'd like to see some dragonflies in that Sun 60.
Sure.
Yeah, so let's start planning on doing that next year for you guys that are going down. It's 60 miles and it's meant to be fun. They'll make whatever horsepower category you want, if you want a classification, but I know they have a category of 75 and under. They just don't have a lot of that. As a matter of fact, one year, about 3 or 4 years ago, I believe they had a VW class there. So let's get into that thing next year and let's show everybody our stuff. We're definitely not dead. Let's do it.
Yeah, and one of the reasons these things are important, it's a selfish reason, and that is if your airplane enters, and there's going to be a write-up about it, every time another builder sees Dragonfly mentioned, that gives you a little boost to say, hey, I'm building one of those. Look at that, it did this. The other thing that the guys who have them built and finished should not fail to do, send your picture into kit planes under their completion section. Maybe they'll put a picture of your airplane in. We had a guy who sent us a picture to kit planes off his Quickie that he built, and you know, I've gotten several calls out of that, guys wanting to know more about it. There are guys who are building Dragonflies and Quickies and Q2s who don't know, believe it or not, that there is an organization that they can get some help from. And when those pictures appear in kit planes and sport aviation, that brings them out of the woodwork. All of a sudden they think, well, maybe I can finish this airplane because there really are some guys doing it. So it's selfish. It's not so much you showing off that you finished your airplane, which that's true, but it's also to stimulate the other guys, because the only reason I'm doing this is to get airplanes in the air. Okay, I'm not making $1 million out of this. It's not that easy writing a newsletter year after year after year. I've been doing it for 14 years now, I think. This guy's just a pup. He thinks he's having a good time. Well, he gets another 10 years under his belt. Anyway, I want to see those planes fly. If I don't see them fly, that doesn't give me a lot of stimulation.
There's a section in the magazines that stipulates activities for the month. Do we get a piece of that 2-line, 3-line section?
The activities mean like the calendar of
the month,
yeah.
Yeah.
Calendar of events.
And that's the thing we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
failed to get in at the proper timing. You need it 3 months in advance for kit.
You guys, you Dragonfly guys, still have an outlet for plans, and this was a plans-built airplane. For us, it's even more trouble because we had a kit-built airplane. Not all the parts are available, and there's guys out there with hunks of their kit missing, you know, and they don't know that there's a possibility of getting some support through the Quickie Builders Association. They don't know it exists. So when you get a picture of your plane in there, that gives people some stimulus and wakes them up. So don't fail to do that, because it's not only just for you to show off, which that's a valuable reason to do it. You know, we all like to pull our plane up to the gas pump at some little field someplace and have 6 people run out and say, what is that? Is that a starfighter or what? I mean, a lot of people don't know what these are yet. Even Easies, they don't know what they are yet. And since we have, you know, since we don't have those plain vanilla aluminum airplanes with wing up front, wing in the back, I mean, big, let's show off a little. Okay, I think I'm ready to bring this to a close unless there's any other. I'm ready to hit the feather bed or slosh around in the water bed or wherever I'm going tonight. I don't know. I could be on the floor. Well, thank you folks for coming. We enjoyed having you. Glad you could participate. Over to you, Jack.
Over to you, Jack.
Okay. Again, good afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have had one fantastic weekend. Here again, a lot of the airplanes are leaving and so on. The banquet last night, Jimmy will expand on that in a minute. What do you got to say about that, Jimmy?
We had a good banquet and had about 102 people last night. We had a lot of fun, passed out awards. We always have awards at our fly-ins.
And Chuck?
There's an award winner right there cranking up and getting ready to leave.
That's right. Chuck, you got anything to add to this?
I think that we had a very safe weekend here. We had beautiful weather on Saturday, and I enjoy watching you folks operate because you do such a beautiful job. You know what you're doing, Spud.
It goes real smooth. We really enjoy it. Again, folks, I hope you participate with us next year. We're a little bit concerned on the Labor Day weekend. If you got some thoughts on that, both of us would like to know about that. But as far as we know right now, we're going to plan on Labor Day unless we get a lot of backseat from you guys.
And I'd like to say one thing too, and that is that as much as you see on the film of the fly-in and the forums that we've conducted, there's a tremendous amount of information that can't be captured in this fly-in unless you're here to visit with the pilots and look at their planes in great detail. So we welcome you here to enjoy that.
It's all part of the tandem wing group.
I got one more thing I'd like to say on behalf of the city of Ottawa. You folks are always welcome, not just for the fly-in, but anytime they're in our area, please come through.
That's grand. We appreciate it. Again, come join us next year, folks.
Thank you.
Striped shirt. Yeah, that'll be easily recognizable. Yeah, there you go. Well, I'm telling you, you look handsome in red. Did I ever tell you that? Yeah.
I'm anxious to see him getting it flying so that it doesn't look so good anymore. So the bugs skip it up here a little bit, yeah. Maybe get some ripples in the canard from banging and landing.
1, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Baby love, baby love.
Okay, guys, let it rip.
Okay, you're rolling? Okay, let's keep it down. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you to Friday.
Quiet on set.
Quiet on set. Quiet on set. Take 2. Yeah.
You may have to hold that over.
Okay. Quiet on set. Take 8. We're burning daylight here.
I haven't had any sleep, but it's so much fun I didn't want to miss everything.
Oh, you know what we could do? We could do the old famous bug soap commercial. You know, we use bug soap. You know, you can bug yourself in the air and you can bug yourself under the arms. You can just bug you anywhere there's bug soap. Yo, mama. Ladies and gentlemen. And then again, we might want to mention something about, like again, well, I'll get it started. You guys make the comments. Might want to say, hey, you guys missed out on a hell of a banquet. We had 102 people. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We can say, and as you can see, Spud has already ate all the leftovers.
Okay, y'all ready?